Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the San Jacinto Academy presentation of The Spirit of San Jacinto, along with the Florence Nightingale story, the musical. How is everyone doing this evening? We are very excited to have you all here tonight and to show you what we've been doing with over at our drama department at San Jacinto Valley Academy. So we'll start with The Spirit of San Jacinto. This is something that we've done. We've developed a show within our own drama department, using our own drama students to tell an educational story. The high school department tells it every week to the elementary. We dress up in character and we introduce them to the early members of the San Jacinto Valley, and we give them, we've developed some of these trading cards that you guys have. You should have got these when you come through. What we are particularly excited about with these trading cards is they're kind of new and innovative. They've got this little code on the back, and if you scan them with your phone, it'll take you to a website where you can learn all kinds of history about the San Jacinto Valley. You can learn about these characters right here on the trading cards and some other great things right there. You want to check it out. But we're really excited about the continuous development of this. We want to show you that story. And then Florence Nightingale, the musical. So without further ado, we're going to kick this off with The Spirit of San Jacinto. Hope you enjoy it. And with any good historical tale comes a bit of a sing-along. You can join us with some of these folk songs if you know them. Now where are my friends at? So help me out. I'm working on the railroad all in my day. I'm working on the railroad just as the time away. Trying to get over so lonely. Rise up so early in the morning. Don't you have to shout it? Die up on your own. That's right. Gotta let you know. Gotta let you know. Gotta let you know your heart. Gotta let you know. Gotta let you know. Gotta let you know your heart. Someone's in the kitchen with Diana. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Diana. Drumming on the old banjo. Please don't be my Billy I-O. Be my Billy I-O. Be my Billy I-O. Drumming on the old banjo.
Welcome to the Bosberg Hotel. Welcome one and all. My name is Miss Annie Bosberg. I heard some beautiful singing and I figured we had guests. My husband, Mr. William Bosberg, and I will be your hosts here at the Bosberg Hotel. Whether you're looking for a room for the night or several, you've come to the right spot. You'll love it here. We have 52 rooms and all of them are different. Now, dinner will be ready shortly.
Say, who in tarnations are all of these people?
Now, Mr. Temple, these are our new guests.
I don't trust them. I don't trust anyone that don't smell funny and got dirt under their fingernails.
Now settle down, let them get comfortable, and then maybe they'll tell us who they are. This is Mr. Sam Temple, and he can get a little fussy, but he usually joins us here for dinner.
And speaking of dinner, where is it? Some of us around here is hungry.
Simmer down, Mr. Temple.
I guess y'all look all right. I'll watch out for that lady over there in the corner, though. She's crazy. She'll always sitting around writing stuff down in that little book of hers.
My name, Mr. Temple, is Helen Hunt Jackson, and I am always writing because I am an author.
Yeah, you want a good story? Go to Helen Hunt for it.
Mr. Temple, I can smell the alcohol on your breath from all the way over here. Isn't it a little early in the evening to be indulging in such a fine drink?
Early in the evening, darling, I start drinking early in the morning. Yeah. Oh, crazy lady over there. So, what are y'all? Politicians or bankers?
You certainly are a nosy little fellow, Mr. Temple.
Oh, look who's talking, Miss Busybody over here, writing stuff down in her little book that ain't nobody ever gonna read.
I am writing about the cruel treatment endured by the Indians of this valley, and I hope a great many people
I ain't gonna read it.
Well, that's because you don't know how to.
Well, howdy, y'all. Good evening. My name is William Vosberg. This here is my hotel, the Vosberg Hotel. If y'all need anything, feel free to ask me.
And this boy, William Vosberg, he moves all the way down here from Canada. That's right, he marries the prettiest girl in town. He buys himself a hotel, fixes it up, and names it after himself. That's what he does.
Now, that is true. And Mr. Temple here joins us for dinner whenever he can.
Yeah, that's right. I figured you must be real pleased to have me.
I sure am. And Miss Jackson, how's the research coming along?
Well, it's tedious, long, and sometimes quite boring.
No. He's talking about the research, not your book itself.
Well, I spent the day researching the land grant given to the Estudillo family. 35,000 acres granted to Jose Antonio Estudillo in 1842. And what of all the Indians that used to call this place their home?
Yeah, they're still around here. I see them. I tell you what, I don't trust them none neither.
Now, the land grant was about 50 years before I arrived in this city.
Yeah.
Well, and Mr. Vosberg, I was reading about this terrible account of this place called Massacre Canyon.
That's north of here, up in them hills.
Massacre Canyon. I enjoy that place. It's a good place to take a nice quiet walk and relive the old days that happened there.
You are scum!
Now,
Oh, if I could just speak to one of the members of that tribe, the tale they would tell, a heartbreaking one.
I'm a member of the Iba tribe of the San Jacintos, and I will tell you the story of my people. Our land was blessed, and during our final season together, we were very content. We were more than content. We were happy. Together we worked to harvest our crop of Sjva, which had grown in abundance. We sang songs while we worked, and together, around the fire, we told our children the stories of our ancestors, lest they be forgotten. In our dreams, we could envision our children growing up, growing old on our land, growing to lead our people after the sun had set on the final days of my tribe of brothers and sisters. We were very blessed that season. Imagine the most perfect day of your life, and then envision an entire season full of that same happiness. That was the final season of my people. Our land was blessed, but other tribes and other valleys did not receive the same fortune. Not this season. Rain did not fall from the skies of the Temecula's, and a terrible drought caused their crops to wither and die in the fields. The Temecula's had no crops that season, so they came for ours. The Iba tribe, we were peaceful. We did not want to fight. But this tribe was as hungry for war as they were for food. I remember hearing the first cry of battle as blood was shed. Our soldiers came running bravely into a storm of arrows and tomahawks, fires being lit to our homes, and my tribal brothers fall to the ground, to the left and to the right of me. Temecula warriors kept coming. Too many warriors. When we knew we would be defeated, we tried to save our women and children. We sent them to the hills, to the waterfalls. I tried to follow them, but something struck me from behind. Fatigue overcame me, and blood poured from my shoulder. I summoned my strength and raised my head, only to see the Temecula chasing after the women and children. They were chasing the children. The Ibas ran quickly through the canyon. They ran to the end of the path. But they were surrounded by large rocks, and they could run no further. The last thing I remember before I fell into darkness was the screams and cries echoing through the hills
of the women and the children in my tribe. I must have woken up. Sometime later, it could have been hours, it could have been days. I pulled a broken arrow from my shoulder, and the pain I felt was nothing compared to what I felt inside when I looked around at what was left. Our schools, our homes, our land burned, still smoking the bodies of my tribal brothers and sisters scattered on the ground for the birds and the beasts in the field. Semeculus stole our blessings from us, and they killed my people. But I am still here. I carry their stories. I carry their memories. The land you now walk on once belonged to them. That is the story of how Massacre Canyon received its name. Some say when they walk the canyon, they can still hear the screams and cries of the women and children of my tribe echoing in the hills. I can hear it too. But if I listen with all my heart and soul, I can hear something they cannot. I can hear the laughter and the songs we once sung together. Sometimes I can still remember the happiness we all felt during our last season together. I carry on because of them. I carry on to honor them. I'm a member of the Eva tribe. The last member.
Hearing that story makes me feel such emptiness inside. I'm reminded of the cruelty that can exist in the heart of man, the state of malicious in which lies. Mr. Temple! Are you sleeping?
Oh, sorry, must have nodded off in the middle of that story. Well, a fella like me needs his beauty sleep. But you know what, Miss Jackson? I think you could use some beauty sleep too.
Oh.
You know what? This place has gotten a little bit quiet. I think we need another song to liven it all up. What you say? I agree. Came to town the other night, heard the noise, I saw the fight. The watchman was running around, no man touched town. Get out the way, don't dance sucker. You're too late to get your supper. Supper's over and dinner's cooking. Old damn sucker's dancing again. Old damn sucker's a mighty good man. Watch this place to the sun. Old this minute, I get real. Tired of the music. Get out the way, old damn sucker. You're too late. Supper's over and dinner's cooking. Old damn sucker's dancing again. Old damn sucker, he's back in town. He's swinging the ladies all around. Goes to the right, then to the left, then to the girl that he loves best. Get out the way, old damn sucker. You're too late to get your supper. Supper's over and dinner's cooking. Old damn sucker's dancing again. Old damn sucker, nice old man, used to ride on there. He rode that lamb right up the hill. He hadn't got up 50 years still. Get out the way, old damn sucker. You're too late to get your supper. Supper's over and dinner's cooking. Old damn sucker's dancing again. I do love that song a lot, although, Miss Jackson, I believe it would behoove you to take a few voice lessons.
Now who is that back there?
Well, tarnations, is that my old friend Miner Mac? I always love it when he comes here for a visit.
digging and digging until finally I found it shining there in the walls of my mind. Everyone, I'm rich.
Oh, now, let me see that. Minor Mac, this ain't gold, this is quartz that has been painted yellow.
Minor Mac, how could you?
Hundreds of mine are here, and I'm stuck with the one that ain't filled with nothing but gold. I haven't eaten in days, and I ain't got no money, and I haven't slept because I ain't got no bed. Worst of all, I've had to dig with my hands because, well, last week I snuck into the woods to take a tinkle, and somebody stole my tools.
Oh,
Minor Mac!
I'm sorry, Miss Foxburg. Snuck off into the woods to tinkle?
I tell you, this woman writes down everything in that book. A man ain't got no privacy anymore.
Now, don't be sad, Minor Mac. How about this? You can stay at the Vosburg Hotel as long as you like. Just pay us back when you strike gold.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I think that Minor Mac has a better chance of striking gold than old Miss Jackson does of writing a best-selling book. Yeah. Hey, you know who the greatest storyteller on earth is, Miss Jackson?
Oh, please tell me, Mr. Temple. I'm guessing you're not going to say it's me.
Nope, it's my good friend, Minor Mac, right here.
Now that is true. I still remember this one story he told me a few weeks back about the great train robbery. Now, his little sister had to beat up some bandits because they was picking on him.
Now, that is true, but you see, before I was Minor Mac, I was Farmer Mac, and before I was Farmer Mac, I was Veterinarian Mac, and before I was Veterinarian Mac, I was School Teacher Mac, and before I was School Teacher Mac, I was Sailor Mac, but before I was Sailor Mac, I was Storyteller Mac, and I can tell you the best story you've ever heard.
Well, why'd you stop being a farmer, Minor Mac?
All my crops died.
Well, how come you stopped being a school teacher?
All the children left class. They just ran away.
Why'd you stop being a veterinarian, Minor Mac?
All the animals I was taking care of, they died.
Well, why'd you stop being a sailor, Minor Mac?
I jumped in the ocean to take a tinkle, and the boat sailed off without me.
Well, that is mighty rough, but I've been waiting to see you. You know, I heard a story that you might like.
Oh, really? About what?
Well, you hear that fella named Juan Bautista de Anza?
You mean that explorer came down to the valley and explored everything?
Right, went everywhere through California. You ever heard a story about him?
I believe I have. You so excited to tell it, Sam. Why don't you give it a go?
Well, I may not be as good of a storyteller as you, Minor Mac, but I bet you I'm better than Miss Jackson. It is Miss, isn't it? Yeah, who we kidding? It's Miss. Well,
Oh my God.
Juan Bautista de Anza. Ready? Join me, my friends, for a stanza of a man named Juan Bautista de Anza. He came from down south Mexico, they say. His adventures were great, and I tell you today about Juan Bautista de Anza.
Juan Bautista de Anza.
A captain in Mexico's military with his eyes set on California. He came here to start a new colony. He is still revered today. He is Juan Bautista de Anza.
Juan Bautista de Anza.
In the 1700s, there were land disputes. Open land could be hard to claim. Mexico needed settlers to be a refuge, occupying the open terrain. They sent Juan Bautista de Anza.
Juan Bautista de Anza.
He did not prefer to travel by sea. The dangers, you see, were too vast. And so he decided to travel by land, though it was not as fast.
The journey began at last.
He blazed the trail. He did not set sail. California was explored far and wide. And he passed through the territory new with settlers and soldiers by his side. He is Juan Bautista de Anza.
Juan Bautista de Anza.
His stories have ended some time ago. His legend still lives on. He explored far and near. He journeyed right here. And his is the story we tell of Juan Bautista de Anza.
Juan Bautista de Anza.
Interesting fella.
I bet you that guy gets all sorts of things named after him. Nature trails, maybe one day even a school. I wonder if anybody will ever name anything after me.
You know, Mr. Temple, maybe I'll put you in my book.
Oh yeah? You're writing a romance novel, eh?
Hardly. I'm going to make you the villain.
Oh yeah? Even better. I like that.
Oh no, Mr. Temple, look, someone's stealing your horse.
What? Tardation? I'll be back. Save me a plate of dinner.
All right.
As it turns out, I did make Mr. Temple a character in my book. I changed his name to Jim Farrar. You see, when he caught up with the man who stole his horse, he shot and killed him in front of his wife, Ramona. And that's the story of my book, Ramona.
In the valley San Jacinto, many, many moons ago, lived the lovely señorita, and her heart was all aglow, for she knew that every evening, from the mountains high above, she would hear her mother calling as the color of his love. Ramona, may I love in your heart. Ramona, even after the dawn. And today in San Jacinto, you can hear the afterglow of a love in San Jacinto, many, many moons ago. Ramona, may I walk in your arms. Ramona, even after the dawn. And today in San Jacinto, you can feel the afterglow of a love in San Jacinto, many, many moons ago.
Well, even more beautiful singing. Dinner is ready. Who's hungry?
I sure am.
I am too, and I'd like to thank y'all for coming to the Vosburg Hotel this evening. We hope you can come back again and meet some more of the interesting folk from San Jacinto Valley.
Yeah. But before we go, how about one more song?
That sounds good.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land has made you and me. Fire back.
And I was walking,
We was walking.
I did on my way. My summer loving, that is the skyway. And I saw below me that golden valley. And this land was made to
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I roamed this ramble and I followed my footsteps. I came to the valley's love, for time to bless right. And all around me, a voice on the sound me. It said, this land is made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. And this land was made for you and me. Thank you, everyone. Again, we present this to second graders and fourth graders so far, our two classes, and hopefully we'll be moving on to other grade levels in elementary, but teaching them all about the different characters in the San Jacinto Valley and giving them out those trading cards. And pretty soon we'll have a brand new episode that also takes place at the Vosburg Hotel with even different characters. So our way of bringing educational theater to the elementary group. And now we're going to move on to the Florence Nightingale story. If any of you are familiar with Florence Nightingale, she was a very brave woman who went into the medical field at a time where women were not tolerated, nor were they wanted. And she was the one that really changed things and made nurses an honorable profession. The students have been working very, very hard on this one, and so we're very excited for you to be here for our opening night, and we very proudly present the Florence Nightingale story.
Staring at me. I'm not much to look at, am I? But yes, I am Florence Nightingale. I was born in 1820 and lived to the ripe old age of 90, which is surprising when I think of all the hardship I endured, trying to make nursing an honorable profession it is today, so a horrible hobby it was back in my day. But I couldn't stand to see human suffering, even though I was raised in a family of wealth and riches. We were richer than rich as my wealthy family had it all. And it pains me to recall how rich we were. Spending wealth on yourself may be fine for some, but not for me. When all around I see sad misery. One is all it takes. I can change the world and help set it free. One is all it takes. All it takes is only one, and it could be me. There are people to feed who cry out to bleed and bow their heads because no tears are shed for those who need. Then the thought came to me, maybe I can be the one who dares to show that someone cares. I hold the key. One is all it takes. I can change the world and help set it free. One is all it takes. All it takes is only one, and it could be me. All it takes is only one, and it could be me. In that hour of mystery, a lady with a lamp I see pass through the glimmering gloom and flit from room to room, and so, as in a dream of bliss, the speechless sufferer turns to kiss her shadow as it falls upon the darkening walls. I can still remember how young I was when I started my quest. My, was I young then? And now, here I am, at the opposite of my life. I could have chosen a completely different path, you know. I could have had wealth, riches, fancy dresses, not a single care in the world. I could have had what some might have called a good life. But I chose to become a servant in this world instead of a master. I only look back now to reaffirm and rededicate myself to the one thing I chose to invest my life in, the serving of other people.
can't imagine anything would be more rewarding. Parthe! Have you seen Florence anywhere?
No, Mother.
That sister of yours? You're the one who's usually running off when there's work to be done.
Some letters came for her this afternoon from the hospital in London. I imagine she's off reading them again and again and again.
If I catch her with those letters, I'll tear them to pieces. Honestly, the guests will be arriving any moment.
Oh, Mother, I just love it when we throw dances and parties. Do you think I'll meet a boy tonight?
Probably not, dear.
Well, that's just because all of the boys pay attention to Florence.
I wish she'd pay a little attention back. Maybe then she'd find a nice gentleman to marry and forget all these foolish ideas of becoming a nurse.
Well, if she doesn't, then I will. I've made up my mind tonight that I will be the one who meets a nice gentleman.
Excuse me, Parthe, the guests are arriving.
Florence, there you are.
Parthe, why aren't you talking to the boys?
They've only just arrived. Give me a minute or two and I'll make my move. If you could do me a favor and stay out of sight, maybe the boys will pay a little attention to me tonight.
It would be my pleasure. If I have to attend another dance, I'll throw up.
Florence!
I'm sorry, Parthe, but it's true. In the letters I received to you from London, I read of the terrible conditions that hospitals are in, and how dreadful it is for recovering patients. I long to be put to use in the place where I'm needed most, not waiting away here attending dance after dance.
Florence, those boys are staring at me.
Well, by all means, go talk to them.
One of them could be my future husband, you know.
Good luck.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
Who is that beautiful young woman?
That's just my sister, Florence. My name is...
Watch as I administer my charms and render her spirit helpless.
Don't waste your energy. One dance with me, and she'll be completely spellbound.
I like to dance.
Save yourself the embarrassment. One look into my blue eyes and she'll forget she ever saw you.
She could just easily look into my eyes.
Your eyes aren't half as blue as mine.
That's because they're brown.
I like blue eyes.
Enough talking. Time to make my move.
I'll race you. Excuse me, miss. I truly wish that we can dance.
Oh, mercy me. As you can see, I am entranced. You're in luck. We're starstruck and we love you. We're aware from your glare that you're in love too.
I'll bring you joy.
Silly boy.
We'll have children by the score.
I'll make you smile, you'll be beguiled, we'll live happily evermore.
Do not fret, your future's set, and we love you.
You and me in harmony,
Our whole life through.
my eyes are blue,
Mine are brown.
his are ugly, my match are gown.
Going
Get
down.
out of town.
And we love you.
You're a rat and you're a brat. I bid you adieu.
Would you like some punch?
Absolutely.
I like punch. Boys, wait with me.
Florence, what on earth is the matter with you? Do you realize who those men were?
No, who?
Those were very respectable men, very wealthy and very interested in you. I want you to go back over there and introduce yourself.
I'm just not interested, Mother.
Not interested? Florence, this is what happens every time you receive one of those letters from the hospitals in London. It's just a phase.
It's not a phase, Mother. I long to give my life to the service of other people. I want to help. I can make a difference.
Florence, you were born into the life of luxury, and it would be foolish of you to give it up to go and work in some dirty hospital.
I've lived for a while in elegant style, seen upper class life at its best. I've seen parties and dances and short-lived romances and decided it's not for me. For when all the dancing is over and the guests have made their way home, I look back on the way that I've spent my day, and each night I dream as I say, could it be that there is something more, a certain task that I was meant to do? What purpose am I living for? Would I have done it when my life is through?
Thank you so much for the party, Mrs. Nightingale, but we really must get going.
So soon?
Here she comes!
Let's go!
Wait! I'm very single! Very single! Hark the note, stop! You're embarrassing!
Thanks a lot, Florence. You said you were going to stay out of sight. I'm sorry, Parfait. I tried.
Florence, you know I only want the best for you, right? So if you really want to go and study medicine, then I'm behind you. Why don't you go and stay with your aunt in London for a few weeks? I know she'd love to have you whenever she'd like. And while you're there, you can go and visit the hospitals.
I'll go right to her right now and tell her that I'm coming, Mother. Thank you.
Of course, Florence.
Why does Florence get to go to London?
She won't last a week in that hospital. Once she sees how dirty it is and how hard she'll have to work, she'll be right back home and hopefully ready to marry.
Could it be that far across the sea I will be all I was meant to be? Will I make all my dreams come true? Will I have done it when my life is through? Will I have done it when my life is through?
Please, Florence, let me take your bag.
Oh, no, don't trouble yourself.
Well, this is it. I hope you find what you're looking for here.
All I'm really looking for, Pastor, is the opportunity to help others.
Florence, I know you come from a wealthy family and, well, it's only fair that I tell you now. You won't make a good living here. The pay is very small and the living quarters aren't grand, but, well, you'll have a fine opportunity to work with some of the greatest nurses you've ever seen.
Pastor, while I'm here, just forget about what kind of family I come from. I already have. There's nothing more I'd like to do than to join your team.
I admire that, Florence. Now, let me introduce you to some of the nurses you'll be working with.
The pastor's coming, and he's bringing some lady in with him. Quick, head cards! Somebody grab him! Give him the cards.
Right this way, Florence. Nurses, this is Miss Florence Nightingale. Miss Nightingale will be staying with you for the next couple of days and working alongside you. I trust you will make her feel right at home.
Surely, you know, Florence, we take our jobs here very seriously.
We work long hours, most of the time on empty stomachs. It's a dirty, dirty job. But if you think you're up for it,
Then we would be glad to have you.
Ladies, I would be so grateful to work alongside you. Sadly, I am aware of the reputation standing nurses have in the medical field, lazy and uncaring. But I know we can change all that. I want to thank you for so readily accepting me.
What are these?
Nurses, how did we let this patient slip these playing cards past us?
The hospital rules are very clear. No playing cards. This patient will go without supper tonight.
well, I'm afraid he brought this on himself.
Well, ladies, I'll leave you to it.
I'm aware of the reputation and standing nurses have in the medical field. I know we can change all that. I know.
Oh, that was beautiful, Florence.
Oh, come on, ladies. Oh, let's go.
No water, dirty sheets. From the looks of things, supper won't be the only meal you skipped.
Florence?
Yes?
Florence. interesting name.
My parents named me after a city in Italy.
Really?
I don't mind it though. My sister, on the other hand, considers her name a curse.
What'd they name her? Parthenon?
We call her Parthay for short.
You can't be serious.
I'm afraid I am.
Well, my name's Selena.
It's good to meet you, Selena.
The other nurses and I are gonna go out to the city for a little fun tonight. You're welcome to join us, and we can show you the town.
Who would watch the patients?
They'll all be asleep. Don't worry. We do it all the time.
I think I'm gonna stay behind tonight. The blankets need to be washed, and I want to try and introduce myself to all the patients. I want to try and learn as many of their names as I possibly can.
Florence, we don't get paid anything extra for putting in longer hours.
Look, I'm not here for the money. If that was all I was after, I could have stayed home. I'm here to give my life to the service of other people.
You meant all those things you said back there to the pastor, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
We all thought you were just trying to make yourself look good. Well, perhaps another time.
Good night, Selena.
Here I am, following my dreams, far away from the lives of kings and queens. There are people here, others won't come near. Let me know them, let me love them, let me hold them dear. Let me feel everything they feel. Let me be in the place where they are. Let me love with the love that's real. Let me reach them near and far.
Why didn't Florence want to go?
She wanted to meet the other patients and wash the sheets.
Did you tell her we only wash the sheets every 2 weeks?
And that most of the patients will be dead by morning.
No, I didn't want to discourage her. She seemed so sincere about wanting to help.
It's only her first day. She'll be burnt out by the end of the week.
As the days and the weeks go by, for the sick and the wounded I cry. Even if it's only for a short time, let me share their hearts with mine. Let me do what needs to be done. Give me strength I need, I pray. Let me finish the task I've begun and work harder every day.
You know, Florence has been with us for over a month now, and I don't think I've ever seen her stop to rest.
Did you know she asked the pastor for his consent to watch the doctors while they operate?
Oh, she didn't! She was refused, of course.
No, the pastor. Of course he said yes. He loves her. The doctors weren't too thrilled, of course, but can you blame them?
I heard that she's trying to convince the pastor to give every single one of the patients a bell, so they can summon us whenever they want. Oh, now this is getting ridiculous.
Well, I think she's doing a great job. She seems to really care about the patients. I even saw her feeding the ones who didn't have the strength to feed themselves.
And she insists on being with them when they die. Says they shouldn't be alone when they leave this earth. How does she do it all?
She gets up before the sun rises doing her chores, and any of mine I didn't do the day before.
She goes to sleep hours after we do.
She has strength.
Let me feel everything they feel. Let me be in the place where they are. Let me love with the love that's real. Let me reach them near and far.
Florence, may I have a word with you?
Of course, Pastor.
Florence, in the few short months that you've been with us, you've done a wonderful job. The patients are recovering so much quicker, and patients we didn't think would recover are walking around as if, well, nothing was wrong with them. Florence, I've never seen this hospital so clean. It's so organized. Florence, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Pastor. I believe I found my calling.
Good. Now, for the true reason I called for you. No doubt you've read in the papers about the war we're fighting in the Crimea. You know Russia.
I don't have much time to read the papers, but I'm sure everyone knows well of the war.
Florence, reports show that Russian forces have devastated our army. British soldiers are dying this very minute, and will continue to do so if we do not intervene. Medical supplies and doctors are they're in low supply. I don't know what to do, but I had an epiphany. I want to send you and your team of nurses to the Crimea to help them.
I will gladly go.
Don't answer so quickly, Florence. This is a very dangerous task. You'll be fighting a political war as well as a physical one. The male doctors will not approve of female nurses assisting them.
I understand. I will go and serve at the capacity that I am able.
Florence, I've seen you single-handedly turn this hospital around for the better. It won't be the same without you here, but I know you'll be a blessing to the doctors and soldiers in the Crimea. God be with you.
Of course, I went to go see what I could do for our soldiers in the Russian-Crimean War. And I was shocked by the primitive, shabby hospitals that were so hastily assembled. I felt so sorry for our soldiers, who became like sons to me. The conditions were terrible, and I found those doctors to be callous and uncaring.
And how are you doing?
Good. Glad to hear it.
Have you heard that a boat full of nurses has arrived from England to assist us?
Indeed I have not. Is this some sort of joke?
They're due to arrive here any time. I tried to protest, but it was of no consequence.
This is ridiculous. We're fighting a war here. We shouldn't have to worry about women as well. Oh, hush. We'll get with you when we can. Can't you see we're busy?
I simply don't understand why they have to allow women into the medical profession. It's already bad enough they're practicing medicine, but to come to the front lines is a disgrace.
That reminds me. This is about the time when more soldiers flood in. Don't suppose we can make room anywhere.
Yes, there doesn't appear to be a great deal of room left. We could make some in the corner.
Indeed. There! That wasn't so bad now, was it?
Good heavens, this man needs an operation right away.
Oh, indeed. Well, it's blue. It's better than when it was green the other day. We shall amputate it.
But let's have lunch first.
Indeed. Oh, and a quick nap. Don't want to doze off during operation now, do we?
We'll be back in a few hours to amputate that leg of yours.
Try not to walk on it while we're gone.
Farewell, soldiers.
I had seen hospitals in poor conditions in my time, but nothing could have prepared me for this. Still, I kept my composure for the sake of the patients and the nurses.
Dear heavens, what is that awful smell?
The sewage is backed up.
These men's bandages haven't been changed in days.
And these patients, they're all dehydrated. How can they live like this?
They can't. We need to work quickly. I need you to go and unpack the supplies. These men will die of malnutrition before the wounds even come close to finishing them. I need you to get a broom and sweep up in here. We can't expect these men to make any progress in a rat spider infested area. I need you to help attend to the patients. Sir? How are you feeling, sir? Somebody get me some water.
Miss Nightingale, this man
Put a
is...
blanket over his head and move on to the next patient.
But he's...
Listen, we can help these men and we will. But no matter how difficult the situation is, we must remain optimistic. That's the only way these men will ever have any hope. Now, we're in a war here, and we can't prevent every man from dying. But they don't have to die alone. We can sit with them and hold their hands as they pass.
I never dreamed it would be this awful.
We're here to make it better. No doubt the doctors will need our help. I'm sure they're overwhelmed. Quickly, nurses, water and bandages.
Where will we put them? Where are the doctors?
God help us.
What do you women think you're doing here?
Well, we
Who
were
do
just...
you women think you are?
My name is Florence Nightingale, and these ladies here are nurses under my supervision. We've come all the way from England to assist you in your work.
Who gave you permission to move these patients?
We were simply trying to make these men more comfortable by giving the small amount of space that we had to its fullest potential. We brought many supplies with us from England, and we eagerly await the opportunity to assist you in whatever you need.
If you really want to help us, stay out of our way. If you must do something, fold those blankets, wash those sheets, and go prepare the meals. Just leave these patients to us.
Cook and clean? Listen, Mr. We didn't just come.
As I said, we came here to help you in whatever you need. If you feel we can be of use to you by washing the blankets and cooking the meals, then we will gladly do so. But I have you know that we are capable of doing so much more. Please send for any one of us the moment you need us most. Good day.
Miss Nightingale, perhaps there is one way you can assist us. With more and more men coming each day, it becomes a job in itself to learn their names, the conditions they have, the medicine they're taking, the progress they're making.
Say no more. By morning you shall have clean blankets, food, and a list of every soldier here.
That's quite an ambitious task, Miss Nightingale. But in 2 hours we retire for the evening.
The nurses and I shall not retire. We will work through the night so that in the morning we'll be better able to tend to the patients.
You're not tired from your journey?
Exhausted. Let's get to work, ladies.
Heart means good, no bounty she'll take. She'll lay down her life for soldiers' sakes. She prays for dying men. She gives peace to the brave. She feels that a soldier has a soul to be saved. The wounded lover, as it has been seen. The soldier's preserver, they call her their queen. May her heart never fail. God bless Miss Nightingale.
You'd hardly recognize this is the same hospital with the nurses being with us.
Truly, Miss Nightingale and her team of nurses have really been a blessing to us. The patients are recovering so much quicker and, well, the hospital's so clean I'd even eat here.
Yes, Miss Nightingale is a wonderful person on our staff. She knows the name and condition of every man here. Does she ever stop working?
I don't believe I've ever seen her sleep. How does she do it?
Look, here she comes. Does she ever sleep?
Good evening, doctors. I'm just making my rounds.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Miss Nightingale.
We were just here taking inventory, but we'll leave you to your task.
Farewell then, gentlemen.
Miss Nightingale?
Yes, John?
Do you remember my name?
Of course. You're a war hero. I can never forget your name.
Could you just sit with me for a while? It's been terribly lonely. I can't wait to go back home. I miss my family.
I'm sure they miss you too. I pray to God that this war will end soon so we can all go back to our families. Now, how have you been feeling?
Much better since you and the other nurses have arrived. Miss Nightingale, do you think you could help me write a letter to my family? I can't use my hands.
Of course, John. Let me just get some paper.
Miss Nightingale, there you are. The other nurses have gone to sleep, but I made sure to keep your food warm if you'd like to eat it.
Thank you. I'll be right along soon. First, I must help a patient write a letter home.
Well, couldn't that wait until the morning?
I'm afraid he doesn't have till morning. His breathing has slowed and his fever has gone higher, and I think he knows it.
Sorry, Miss Nightingale.
He's a brave man. I'll sit with him until he passes. Now, you go ahead and get some rest. I'm ready now. So, no, rest.
I don't know what to say. My mother, she begged me not to go off to war. She begged me. I don't know if she'll forgive me.
I'm sure she's proud of you, just as I am.
You're proud of me?
I am.
Miss Nightingale, just tell my family I love them. I love all of them.
I will, John. I love you. Another wounded soldier has come to the end of his days. Another fallen hero whose sacrifice we can never repay. And all around are other wounded soldiers whose candles have life have grown dim. A mother filled with heartache, longing for a boy that she'll miss. Another wounded soldier whose courage has been shown. Another fallen hero whose name will never be known. And all around are other wounded soldiers whose candles of life have grown dim. But for this wounded soldier, dear God, please take care of him. To the family of John Walters, I truly regret to inform you of your son, John's death, on the night of February 18th. He was a brave man who served his country well. His final thoughts were of his family, whom he loved very much. Though this news must tear your heart, please be comforted. He was an inspiration to everyone, myself included. Yours truly, Florence Nightingale.
Mother, Florence's ship has just docked. We should see her any time. Good, good. Is there something wrong, Mother? No, I'm just a little worried. I have been ever since we received word that she contracted the Crimean fever. I was too. I was worried we'd never see her again. Well, thankfully she has the good sense to rest. I only hope she'll be able to make a full recovery.
Mrs. Nightingale, Parthe,
How do you do, Pastor? Pastor?
is that Florence's ship docking?
Yes, it's just arrived.
Oh, how I've missed her. The hospital hasn't been the same without her.
You know, these 2 years have been the worst years of my life. I've been constantly worrying about my little girl in the middle of a war. And then, when I received word that she contracted the Crimean fever, I thought I'd fall to pieces.
Indeed, we were all very worried for her. But God protected her. And look at the hero she's become, thanks to her team of nurses. Oh, so many soldiers were saved. You must be very proud.
I suppose it's hard not to be, although I had my reservations at the beginning. But now that she's been a nurse for 2 years, I hope she's ready to come home and settle down and get married. You know, several men have been asking about her.
Do you think any of them would be interested in me, Mother?
Probably not, dear.
Florence!
Mother, Parthe! Master!
Oh, darling. Oh, let me look at you. Oh, darling.
You look like you're 100 years old.
When was the last time you slept?
I'm afraid the Crimean fever has taken its toll on me. But compared to others, I was let off easy.
Florence, you have the weary face of a servant, and I can't think of anything more lovely.
Thank you, Pastor.
Come on, Florence. We should be getting home. Your father will be anxious to see you.